Hey guys, and welcome to this video. It is freezing outside. I don't know if you can tell, but very cold. This is probably the first video that I'm gonna post on this channel, and this is literally just to see what happens. I just love reflecting on things. I love communities where you can talk about things, and I've already built different communities online. I'm currently also working on some, and I am so thrilled and excited to start this personal channel. This just feels right and aligned with me. I've gotten very invested this year in the sort of spiritual realm. You gotta be delusional to create the life you want, and I truly, truly believe that because delusion has brought me where I am now, and it is currently bringing me into the new life I am building for myself currently. So I'm excited to share it all with you guys and hope you enjoy the journey as much as I do. This video was meant to be about a personal rebrand. Why don't we just start? This is the rebrand for 2026. People start the new year thinking, okay, new year, new me. I'm gonna start doing this and this and this and this and that differently. So we're gonna take this step by step. First of all, who do you want to be? All right? You probably have this vision of your highest self and this person you want to become in the new year. But let me get you started with the first point. You will probably not stick to it if you start on New Year's Eve. If you have this rush in you to be this new person in the new year, this is not going to work for you long term, basically. It's going to maybe motivate you for the first 2 months of the year. At some point, you're going to fall into a routine, and that's going to be your autopilot routine for the rest of the year. Of course, there's constantly motivational rushes throughout the year where you might be like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But if you constantly depend on these motivational rushes to change, you're not going to change in the long term, in the long run. So, change now. Rebrand yourself now. Prepare yourself for the new year. Be the new you for the new year. Build the basis. Because if you are one person in 2025 and you suddenly get the rush to be a completely different person in 2026, that's going to be difficult to do. And if you're trying to be a different you, your brain is going to fight against you because your neural pathways aren't used to this new identity that you haven't actually started building yet. So start building those neural pathways for your brain before the new year starts. They're used to your old identity, which you're trying to escape, right? Probably. Or you're trying to build a newer identity, a newer version of you, right? But if your brain doesn't know this new version, it was never exposed to her, how is your brain going to adjust like this? Secret is, it won't. Not that easily. Neural plasticity is very important when you're trying to become someone else. If you don't know what that is, Google it. But neuroplasticity in simple terms is just how flexible your brain is to be someone different than those programs, if that makes sense. For example, you just brushing your teeth with your left hand is going to feel extremely weird to your brain, and to you it's going to feel weird, but it trains your it makes your brain more flexible for change, if that makes sense. That is the number one point that you need to focus on before the new year starts, is working on your neuroplasticity. It's hard to pronounce, but you have to really be open to that experience. Like, it's gonna feel very weird because you're going against yourself, basically. You might even feel any tension in your body. Your system is used to you falling into your old patterns, sort of in an autopilot mode. And you might say, oh no, I don't work off of an autopilot mode. What do you mean? I bet you have once realized that you were doing something and you didn't even realize you were doing it until you realized you were doing it, if that makes sense. It's like something you did per default. You wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, or whatever it is you do in your routine, you do it per default, right? Or if it's the first thing you do, open your phone in the morning right next to you, that is something that happens per default through routine, because you have made your brain just work off of that every single day. This is a program and you fall into it every single day. And you can be also aware of it, right? You can be aware of those patterns that kind of just happen per default, but it's like those habits are built per default through consistency. You have been consistent with those bad habits or whatever habits you've had. They might not be bad, they might be neutral, all right? But those are all patterns that have made you sort of fall into autopilot. And we fall into autopilot a lot. And that's okay. Like, you shouldn't be judging yourself, but you should be aware of it. You should observe it. And you observing it and seeing it with awareness and taking a step back, being the neutral observer of your own programs, is going to help you change, because you are not identifying with the identity that was built through all your experiences, all your habits, everything, right? All your beliefs, however you were raised, all these things, they build up you as a neural network, okay? If we're talking science here, okay? I believe in more, but if we're just talking science here, there's these programs, but there is something more to it, and can also be explained through neuroscience. I don't know it exactly yet, okay? I'm not a neuroscientist, so can't exactly go into like all the details here, but you and I, we as the human species have been gifted. I believe that it is our gift that we have such a high degree of awareness over what we do, who we are, like all of our actions. We're not animals that kind of only have instincts and there's nothing more to it. If I do something, I have a conscious behind it in a way where I'm like, is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? What am I actually doing? I am just doing that. Okay, interesting. That was my reaction, right? That's awareness. Awareness of those reactions that we have in our daily life. And I can reflect on it. I can reflect on it with awareness of how I reacted. Animals, they have a trigger and they have a reaction, but there's nothing in between that. There is no awareness in between that. And that's what separates us from animals. What I'm trying to tell you is that you have awareness, okay? You can just be aware of all your bad patterns. Like, you know you want to change them? Okay, good. You know that. But if you change them through motivation like this, they're not going to change long term, okay? I'm just going to be honest. You first have to just simply observe yourself. Realize every time you fall into that habit, okay, I'm doing this again. Okay, that's okay. No judgment. If you judge yourself, you're just going to make it worse. Here is another thing that I want to mention, and that is that this video specifically, I'm really talking about a full rebrand. You becoming a completely different person, building a completely different life. Because if you don't like the life you're living right now, you have the option to literally change, and your life will according to you. As within, as without is my belief. Whatever is happening in your inner world will happen in your outer world. Now, I'm not saying that if you have a chaotic inner world, you're gonna have a chaotic life. But if you're used to a chaotic world inside, you will see a chaotic world in the outside. That leads you to perceive the world as chaotic, thus you thinking your life is also chaotic. But it isn't. You can choose that it isn't. You can change your inner world and you will perceive everything differently. Okay, this is so important. And it's something I feel like that isn't frequently talked about, especially where I grew up. I grew up somewhere where, first of all, mental health isn't talked about enough. Second of all, there is such a specific structure built in the society I grew up in. I'm not saying that this is only where I grew up in. There's probably structures where you've like grown up that like are just those social structures of what will happen to you in your life, you know? Like, to me, I have this specific structure in my head of how life should look like. Okay, I have big goals and big visions, and in order to realize them and materialize them into my physical realm, I need to become delusional and kill all these habits and beliefs that I have been conditioned to believe by society. If you're actually interested in what I'm talking about, keep watching. If you think I'm a psychopath, you can also leave. But I am being super honest because I have seen this in my own life. I've seen this in other people's lives. The way you are internally is gonna reflect externally in your world. That is my solid belief. However, reality is an illusion, and now you might think I'm even crazier, but this is based on science. Whatever we see with our eyes is not even 1% of what is out there. Everything we see, and we think, okay, this is all there is. This is reality, right? No, it's less than 1% of a reality. There's the electromagnetic spectrum, and we only see the visible light, right? The colors. But what if I tell you that this is literally 0.0036% of the whole electromagnetic spectrum, right? So everything else you don't see. Everything else, all the other energies out there in the world, you don't see. If you think I'm crazy, okay, thanks. I don't care. But I am saying all of this to put it out there somewhere, because of course it is being talked about more and more and more, but not in the world I grew up in. That might make me sound batshit crazy, but like, there is more out there. I believe so. I think there is so much to life. Life is beautiful, and change and all the shit that can happen in life is also beautiful, because it helps you grow. It helps you become a better version of yourself. And I have gone through enough shit to grow, but I love it, and I'm grateful for it. I'm not saying, oh, you've been traumatized in life? Okay, enjoy it. No. But in the long run, you're going to look back and you're like, this made me who I am today, and I am proud of who I am. And it should be like that. And of course, people deal with trauma in different ways, and there's healthy and unhealthy ways, and unhealthy ways can be really detrimental to you in your life. And that is something to be aware of as well, and actually ask for help. Get help. Go to therapy. Now let's get to the actual fucking video. Okay, neuroplasticity, okay? Number 1, you have to be ready to be a different person. Your brain needs to be okay with change, okay? And it won't be in the beginning, because your brain, literally evolutionary, is programmed for familiarity. And anything that feels familiar is comfortable, okay? Anything that doesn't feel familiar is danger, okay? Survival mode is on, and you have to survive, and oh my god, anxiety might break in, you're in fight or flight. This is your brain thinking that unfamiliar space, so uncertainty, is scary. There might be danger, but there isn't. It's just that it doesn't know what's out there. It's unfamiliar ground. Your brain perceives that as danger, but this is exactly the space where you grow, where you change, where you become the new version of you. And that will feel uncomfortable. And I'm going to tell you this because people didn't warn me, and it felt uncomfortable. But now I am happy that I am where I am exactly supposed to be. And yes, there's days where it feels uncomfortable because my identity is changing. My brain is like, what the fuck is happening? It hasn't even been a year of change, and I'm a completely different person from last year, from last month, from 2 months ago. I am a different person. My brain is not used to this at all. And yes, I'm gonna experience discomfort in my body, but this is okay, and this is normal, okay? But this is only when you have already actually been like, I am a fucking different person, okay? This is when it's like truly like that, okay? Not out of a trauma response, okay? I'm not telling you go through the craziest shit and then you suddenly become this crazy cold bitch. No, this is not what I'm saying, okay? This is you loving yourself enough to know that you need to change for you. You having a good relationship with yourself will show in your other relationships, and you should be the best version of you for you, which will then reflect in your other connections. We're going back to the actual rebranding. Point number 1, look at your habits, look at your identity, look at your beliefs, okay? Everything you believe, because you need to be ready to believe something else. Do you believe you deserve love? You might say, oh yeah, I believe I deserve love. Consciously, but subconsciously your brain might be like, no, I'm not deserving of love because this, that. because you've been programmed in a way. I don't know whether it is family dynamic that has been in your life or something else. If you're programmed to not believe in love subconsciously, even if you consciously think, okay, I want to be in a relationship, I deserve it, subconsciously you might think otherwise, and you have to get really deep into that. And you will notice your subconscious limiting beliefs when you think a conscious thought, like, oh yeah, love will find me, and then your body feels tight, you know? It feels weird to you, it feels uncomfortable, this sort of new belief. This is because your subconscious is programmed otherwise. Take notes when you feel that. Next is also looking at your human relationships in your life, your friendships or relationships. Do they serve you? Are you a better person in them? Do you feel real? Do you feel authentic in them? If you don't, there's something there. Look at it. Don't just walk away. Look at it. Identify, understand why it is maybe time for you to leave those friendships, relationships, whatever. If a person is not aligned with who you are becoming, then they're just gonna drag you back into the old version of you. Think about that person. Is that truly someone you want to keep in your life? Do you feel like yourself? Do they talk down on your beliefs? Whenever you tell them your goals and dreams, do they put you down or do they elevate you? You shouldn't criticize them for it either. This is the way they want to perceive the world, but you need to be aware of them and their beliefs. And sometimes it is okay to not, have everyone in your life have exactly the same beliefs as you, because everyone does kind of have different beliefs in general. But if they're pulling you down with their beliefs, it's okay to let them go. Because if you want to grow, you need to be ready for change. If you want your life to change, you need to change. That's it. Next, you need to figure out what stays in 2025 and what you will therefore leave in 2025 and let go, so you can step into 2026 without it. It can be beliefs, it can be habits. Anything that goes against your new identity can leave. And sometimes it lets go automatically, like belief systems. If you train your brain enough, subconsciously reprogram yourself, it will slowly but steadily happen on its own. You don't need to force your beliefs to change. Next is define your aesthetic. You can do this in so many different ways. Define your aesthetic, makeup wise. Pick out a makeup look that you like, or change your style, right? So now that I have defined my aesthetic and my makeup and my looks and my style, whatever it is, define your aesthetic, then you're gonna go in and define your goals. Now you have your goals. Before you just try to start working on those goals when motivation kicks in, you have to realize that you need to first build the habits. Those habits are what bring you closer to your new identity, your goals. You need to figure out what habits bring you to your goals before just, deciding, okay, these are my goals, I will work on them, okay? Next, you define your identity, who you are, how you talk, how you speak, how you think, all right? Write it all out, speak it out, whatever you like to do it. Next, you will, this is my favorite, pick 5 adjectives to describe yourself, this new self, right? This new identity. I like to call it my highest self. Like, who is she? What does she do, right? What are 5 adjectives that describe her? Whatever they might be. Kind, hardworking, passionate, determined, whatever it is that comes to your mind, pick those 5 adjectives and remind yourself of the 5 adjectives every single time next year. Next, you will create a mood board and a vision board, or whatever you like doing. Create that aesthetic visually, so you can look at it and you can okay, I'll be that. Then you will create your hobbies and habits. Fall in love with every single habit, or at least fall in love with what this habit gives you. For example, I have a habit of running now every single morning. It sucks. It's a pain in the ass for my brain, but I also know that it is the best thing I'm doing for myself, because I am focusing on my heart health. I am improving my cardio, and I am getting stronger for competition next year. I'm literally going to Swiss and European championships. I need to be ready, and I'm preparing myself, and I'm becoming stronger. And I love that. Love what your hobbies and habits give you. You don't need to love your habits, but you should enjoy what they give you. That's at least the first step to loving those habits. With hobbies, it's so important to just do what you love. Follow your passion. If you like singing, sing. If you like painting, paint. If you like, I don't know, playing football, play football. I also know that it can be sometimes hard to truly know what hobbies you're passionate about. Try them out. Have a little goal next year of trying out different hobbies, see what you like, what you don't like, and even if you do the things you realize you don't actually like doing, you will come closer to the answer of what you do like doing. So don't give up, just keep trying. Next is you have to find 3 non-negotiable habits. I'll tell you mine. Number 1, making my bed in the morning. Non-negotiable. Literally something I need to do. It sets your mind for the day. Next is I go on a run. Every single morning, staying at home, 20 minutes go by like this. And you know that, right? Scrolling on social media, 20 minutes goes by like this. Whereas you going for a run, 20 minutes, it is tough. Define those 3 habits. Okay, so I said I had making my bed, going on a run, and then I have like a combined habit of doing my skincare and doing cold showers every single morning. Next, Sundays are actually great days to have like a reset routine. Just, calm down for the week, spend some time with yourself, and also plan your next week. Simple, but it is a lot, and it helps you really structure week by week. Next, do a monthly progress review. Every month look back and reflect, okay, what did I do? What did I change? What happened this month that I survived, that I went through, that, shitty or great? Write it down. How did I change as a person? What changed in my life? And how did that affect me? How did I change as a person? Things like that. They give you a direction in life and gratitude for whatever you've already achieved. This is something I really want to do that I haven't done, but I heard this idea somewhere on TikTok. You have 365 days, right? And every single day you journal in a way about your day, any small success you've had. Every single day you write one thing down that you have accomplished that day. In the end, you're gonna have 365 little notes in a jar, and those notes you're gonna open in the new year of 2027. You're gonna see everything you've actually accomplished that year, and you get to look back and reflect on all 365 things. And yeah, this is my video on how to rebrand yourself for 2026, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed my first ever YouTube video that I post on my channel. And yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.